cable project. 101. Alright, so I got one end on and it works. This end I need to do yet. I got my parts, my RJ45 piece to put on in my cables, my crimper, cut the wire, cut anything with the scissors, and a tester with the necessary test items. So the first thing I did, let me spice up the color here a little bit. The cable hooked here. Remember, the other end's not even connected. So with the black cable connected to the blue cable at 8 feet, and it passed. So it works so far. I have my RJ45 and my sorter for sorting my cables. That's going to go in here once I get my cables lined up appropriately. And we're going to use 568B standard. You really don't need to know a whole lot about that at this point in time. Cut off the sheathing off the cable, so I spin it around. Now I have my cables. I got my string to pull back, and I have all 8 of the wires, and you'll notice all the twist. So I use the string, let me change color here, so I use this string and I pulled it down the cable and it separated this insulation, so now I can pull that back and then I'll be able to cut it off, and I shouldn't have any nicks in my wire, just in case there were some nicks up here when I cut off the sheathing. This is my coffee, in which I took a sip out of. The coffee is not required for cable making, so you can skip this step. So then I separated the wires. Here's what I did. I took, since the orange has to be first, I pulled the orange over and I work right down in here to make sure I get them in order. So I have the orange going this way, and then I have the brown going this way. I kind of put the green in back because the green has to split. And then I have the blue and white right here. And I get this bottom kind of organized so they're all going to lay nice and have a good direction there. I'll show you. So I straightened out these two, and I straightened out the green. So here's the green white, here's the green. I still have the blue in the middle, and right down here I make sure everything's going to kind of line up okay, so I'm not going to be crossing anything over. So now I'm starting the order while I'm untwisting them. So I've got my orange, white, my orange, green, white, and green. And now I'll split the blue up. So I split the blue, and then I just make sure this is still good down here. So I have my green in place. I have my 2 blues, blue and blue, white. And then I have white, orange, and orange, and this is white, green, and this is green. So I have them in order. That makes sense? So I have them in order here. Okay. Next thing. I untwisted the brown. So then I make sure my cables, down here in the bottom, all kind of sit in a nice direction there. And I have them in the right order. So I'm going to pull them together. I'm going to slide this over after I cut them off. Here's my jack. Got them all straightened out here, and they're still in the correct order. See right here, they're still in. I've got them in the correct order yet. And I pretty much have them flattened out here. So I'm going to be able to slide that piece on up here after I cut it off with the scissors. You can kind of get an estimate by laying your device here. You can see I should cut it somewhere right about here. The distance doesn't look proportional, but you'll notice I got these pretty much in line as close to the sheathing here as I can. Now I have clipped down. I laid it here so I can get an idea about cutting it off. I cut them off and I slipped on the piece, making sure now after I have it in there that they are all sitting in the right direction, and this is very important. This piece that I just slid on, the slots are here at the top and it's smooth on the bottom, on the back side. These have to be the slots up here so that these pins, when you push them down in, they're going to go through those slots and squeeze that cable. So the copper here is going to mesh with the copper down in here on your cables. I slid it in and I liked it. I had a nice fit. This would have been good enough. But I trimmed a little more off and then slid it in. This is going to press in here to help hold the cable, and when I compress it, these are going to go through the slots in the little holding device and squeeze into the copper wires. Okay? Now you got to kind of hold this together so it doesn't come apart. Slide it in, make sure your cable's pressed in there so everything is snug, and then you can squeeze the device and push those steel pins down. I've already compressed it. There's my pins in there, and this plastic here pressed down on the sheathing, the cable. And I still have some coffee left after all this work. Test the cable. It's looking good, right? So this test is a wire map. So what I want to make sure that I did, that my wire map is appropriate. And this is good. Pins 1 and 2, 1 and 2 on both ends. 3 and 6, 3 and 6 on both ends. 4 and 5, 4 and 5 on both ends. 7 and 8, 7 and 8 on both ends. Okay? So pin 3 lines up, and then we jump over, right? The green wire is over in the 6th position. These are the blue. These are the brown. And these are the dun, 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 yellow. White. Orange, I should say. Orange. White, orange, and orange. Okay? So it works. The cable. Not done yet. This is how I tested the cable. You notice I have it on wire map. Now you can test the length and just do a test on it, but a wire map's nice so that you see you have everything lined up appropriately. Make sure, just a reminder, if you're going to stick your new cable in there, make sure your pins were compressed all the way down. Now they're going to stick up a little bit because they have to make contact in here, but make sure they're not sticking way up. Trash. Trash can. Make sure you put your... And then check the floor. Make sure you don't have anything laying on the floor. All my trash is in here. Make sure you put the equipment away. The stripping devices go in the top. You put all the cable stuff in here, the tester in here, the crimper down in the bottom. You can see, maybe you can't see, I got the cables in there and the tester, cut off devices, scissors, that kind of stuff. 2 slides left. Close the box up, put the tester away, and then I'll put all this stuff over in MH216. And the last, I took magic marker. There's some magic, some permanent markers, not magic markers, permanent markers in the kits, and I went ahead and put my initials on my cable. And my cable will be on display in MH216 if you want to check it out. Good luck making cables. Remember, if you mess up, you just cut it off and do another one. And if you have trouble, run me down. If I'm available, I'll help you out. That's it.